And you're welcome back. Time for Showbiz. And the lovely Miss G is here with me on all that's happening on the Showbiz front.
All right. So yesterday I told you about the minister chilling somewhere in
chilling minister.
Zim. Yes. Today she's not chilling.
Okay.
The tourism minister was at Kofi Annan's funeral.
Yes.
And she's been trending. And
yes.
Here's why.
Nation to lose such an illustrious son. So we buried one of the illustrious sons of the continent. There will be a friend of culture, there will be a friend of tradition, and there will be a friend of custom. These are things that will enhance and boost the transportation and the export of our intangible export, which is culture.
So a lot of people have said that she said that the occasion will boost Ghanaian tourism.
So she's trending for that?
Yes, that's what they say. That's the reason she's trending. People felt that it was not the right occasion to have, mentioned that. Right. So, well, her deputy also is trending. It looks like the whole tourism, arts and culture ministry is trending. It's a ministry that trends. We are trendy people. So when we trend, it's normal for us to trend.
Yeah.
Now, the deputy minister is also trending because of that comment he made about they're not sure they can complete the 10 theaters they had promised, and they're not. He even said they didn't even say they'll build new structures. So here's he trying to defend that claim, and now he's telling us that look, there is no guarantee that they'll fulfill their promises before 2020.
Gone back severally to look at the manifesto, the clause on theaters. We said we will pursue the construction. We didn't say we're going to do new theaters in all 10 regions. We'll pursue the construction. So interpretation can mean where you find one ongoing, you pursue it. Where there is none, you initiate and then you construct.
So is it an issue of we not getting the message, or it's that you've gone back to the table and realized that this is not feasible, so let's find a shortcut, or let's look for another means?
I don't know if you will call it a shortcut. I think that the manifesto promise was very clear that we'll pursue the construction of theaters in all 10 regions.
So we didn't get the message right.
Now, as to somebody want to say new theaters, original theaters, we'll start building theaters, that is interpretation, and people have, they are entitled to their opinion.
In my interview, you said that you might do 6 before the end of 2020. You're not sure that you do all 10 by the end of 2020.
I don't think if you go to the manifesto, we really put timelines on this.
I voted for you for 4 years.
Oh yes, yeah, and so we are in the 4 years. This is our second year, and we are almost through the second year. What Ghanaians should know is that if by 2020 we are not able to do all 10, Ghanaians should be rest assured that if given the second chance, and I know they will give us the second chance, this president will complete it. To be realistic, we are not at a point where I can say that in 4 years, in this 4 years, first term of this president, we'll be able to do that. And I'm just being realistic about it.
And that's the realistic Deputy Minister of Tourism, Arts and Culture. She has been realistic, he says.
Yes, so some would say, were they tricking us? But then you look back at a politician. Somebody has redefined the term politician, and they've redefined it as politriction. So they are here to trick us. So you have to be more discerning when they say things.
Well, I'm not sure he will be excited, and others who support him will be excited. I was speaking to this is off record, so I'll tell you later. Now, let's move on and talk about comedian DKB, who is still trending after he rendered the apology at the Laughter Fest. Now, he thinks that, the media is always there to pull him down. He says people would like to pull him down when, they don't speak about his successes, but we are quick to talk about his failures.
This DKB. Last week, a couple of weeks ago, first Laughter Fest happened. I nailed it for Ghana. It was as if our media people forgot that the show even happened. We struggled to get it publicized. Fast forward, last weekend, no Laughter Fest happens. I didn't perform to my expectation, and I apologize to the fans. Hey, DKB this, DKB that. You see why we don't grant interviews? You asked me what could be one of the contributing factors, and I said, maybe the comedian who came before, because the audience looked tired, so maybe he drained them. DKB blames down the humorous for his failure. What is even failure about this? They laughed at the end of the day. You see, you can't confuse my fans. You can't deceive them. My fans know what I'm made of. And my fans, don't worry. You don't say me there, young gun, I go bounce back. No worry at all. You see, like Nima Tupac would say, they want to worry my frustration, bringing me intimidation, to disturb my determination. But I'm telling you, I'm the king of the comedy of the nation. Nima, make a team one line, forget everybody. Why?
And that's DKB. He's also trying to do
considering rap.
Well, that's the super challenge. There's a challenge in town called the super challenge.
Okay.
When I'm wrapping up, I'll show you the super challenge.
Okay.
Now, let's also talk about the response DKB gets after all the apology and all that. His arch rival, actually, I thought both of them started at the same time, but David Oscar says he started. He made comedy what it is now. He set the pace. Back then, nobody regarded
David Oscar.
Yes.
Sounds familiar. The guy
Yeah.
with the dry jokes.
And
No,
I
well,
fainted.
I mean, I think
Really? No, I wasn't sitting here. Please. So here's David Oscar responding to DKB.
I think this is mockery. I think this is just factual. You know what I mean? And to say that the comedian who came before you extracted all the laughter, that is why you couldn't pull any string of laughter. That's a very lame excuse, you know? Particularly when you are the same person touting yourself as the king of GH comedy. Kings don't flop, you know what I mean? Foster was on it the last time, and he caused us a diplomatic disaster. Did you not hear about it? Calling Nigerians armed robbers. Nobody spoke about it. We didn't even attack Foster. You know why? Because Foster hasn't called himself king of Ghana comedy. But if you presume to be the king of Ghana comedy and have that title to be going on platforms to represent all of us, then do yourself a favor. Go and always shine. Otherwise, when you go and you flop and drag all of us into disrepute, you don't expect some of us to just sit back and keep quiet. You know what I mean? Particularly when some of us have been at the forefront making a case that this guy is just a fraudster, telling everybody that he's a king of comedy. He himself knows that he's not the best comedian in Ghana. And the best comedian in Ghana is Augustine Dennis.
okay. So the best comedian in Ghana is Augustine Dennis. Okay.
So
all right.
he's saying that we are going to see more of Augustine Dennis,
Okay.
who a lot of people actually agree that is funny.
Okay.
So that's response from your friend David Oscar to his friend DKB. Now, we're also hearing that Sarkodie, for once, has responded to Shatawale. It looks like
Oh.
a lot of people have had enough of Shatawale.
Right.
I don't know if this is true, but this is what is on the internet.
Right.
And they say that it is Sarkodie's response in a track to Shatawale. All right, so that's the audio of a track they are told by the internet. This is not factual because
Okay.
Sarkodie himself has not tweeted.
Yeah.
It looks like it's a leaked audio.
Right.
And he
I
said
know
that
these musicians sometimes they can find ways of putting out these things
just to see how we respond.
Exactly,
You know,
exactly.
And let's see what Shatta will come up with next. You can trust Shatta. He'll sit down, rack his brain, come out with something else, Anyway, Okey Bakassi, who knew that comedian Okey Bakassi, Nigerian comedian, trained as an engineer? He decided to leave those
wow.
certificates. Yes. And he says he might get back to pimping people's ride. I'm here.
As an engineer, I could have done that as well for money, but this thing gives me joy.
So at what point did you veer off being an engineer?
You know how it is now. You just pick up something as a hobby, and the more you do it, the more excited you get. Then you realize, in addition to having this much fun, it can also bring money. I mean, what can be bigger than that?
So what happened to the certificate?
Yeah, it's still there. It's in the drawer, gathering dust over the years. But education is important because it kind of set the foundation for every other thing to happen. So without the university, I don't think I would have been where I am today. Because that was where everything started.
You intend to go back to that?
To engineering?
Yeah.
One of my secret dreams is to own a workshop. And that can still happen,
What kind of workshop is that?
Mechanical workshop. I like, do you see the program Pimp My Ride? Stuff like that. I like to do it.
You find the time to?
Yeah, for sure. It's another hobby that I would like to take up at some point. And you know what happens when you do something that gives you joy? You realize again that it will bring money again. Oh, I'm looking forward to it.
All right, so that's okay. Bakasi.
Wow, so he's making more money as a comedian than as an engineer.
So
that is interesting.
You know what? Like,
there's money in laughter.
I also want to start, rapping. So let me start with Super Challenge. Nima is my resident. When police catch me, no evidence, and I'm enjoying News Prime. When I come back tomorrow, more stories. Super, super.
Okay.